Thank you for staying with us to tell us about a very exciting news regarding the Thousand Islands Watershed Land Trust. The executive director and the biologist is in the studio with me, and that happens to be Calder, Schweitzer. I think you're really going to be interested in this news. Welcome.
Thanks, Doreen.
This is exciting news, isn't it?
It really is.
We talked back in September. We talked about the Red Horse Highlands, and it was, may happen, may not happen. Did it happen?
It happened.
Yay! 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 Okay, so what does this mean now? Oh, we better tell the viewers what this means, because they're not going to remember back to September. What it means is that they were able to acquire this land that Calder's going to tell me about. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about what this means to the Land Trust.
It means everything. There's so many stories that came out of this project that are just huge for us. It's the biggest project we've ever done by fundraising.
I was just going to say, you had to do it by fundraising.
Yes, yeah. It was 200% bigger than the next biggest project we've ever done. So it was a real swing, a big swing. But that's par for the course for this organization. It's 360 acres. It's on the west side of Red Horse Lake. It's got a 2,000 feet of shoreline on Red Horse, 2-kilometer border with Charleston Lake Provincial Park, and it is. I've said it sort of all through the fundraising and the talking about this property. It is the Frontenac Arch at its most dramatic. It's got these high ridges and deep valleys. There's scenic lookouts over Red Horse Lake as well as Mud Lake. It's the exposed granite that this area is famous for. It's just a remarkable, beautiful property. And now with the support of so many people around the watershed, it is conserved, protected forever.
My heavens, my heavens, my heavens. But it did take you a little time and a little work to get to being able to purchase this particular land. What was the price that they were asking for this?
The total
that you had to raise,
yeah, the total cost that we needed, so to cover the purchase price, which itself was over $1 million, and as well as sort of the staff time, the appraisal costs, the legal costs, as well as a big chunk of money to put into stewardship, so that we can keep the forever promise and remedy anything that might happen to the property between now and the end of time. All in, we needed to raise $1.5 million,
which you did.
We did. Yeah.
And it was a short amount of time that you actually did raise this.
Yeah, it was fast.
It was.
Yeah, it was about, I'd say, around 8 months from sort of inception to closing the purchase. And really, we owe that speed so much to the funders and the people that worked around this project. We had some funding from MECP provincially, from a great a great program called the Greenlands Conservation Partnership.
Yes. Yeah.
We got some federal money from the Land Trust Conservation Fund, and we did a lot of work with a new organization that is staffed by conservation veterans in Ontario. Yeah. They're called the Ontario Conservation Accelerator.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're a real, a mover and shaker in the conservation world right now. They're really helping sort of mid-sized land trusts take on these huge projects to elevate our work. So they do a lot of work in helping us with fundraising. They connect us with donors. They've got a really knowledgeable staff, essentially for any part of the process you could imagine. So there's a lot of sort of teaching and mentorship opportunities as well. And so we did some great work with them. They were a huge partner in the project.
Good.
But I have to say, the absolute biggest thank you has to go to our local community. They absolutely stepped up. We had our fundraising event, our big summer fundraiser in August, I think it was. And at that event alone, our community brought in over $100,000.
Whoa.
By the end of the project, they had raised almost $500,000. It's just 30% of the total cost of the project was raised by this small rural community.
Awesome.
And it was just I don't know, amazing to see such a vote of confidence, not just for our work, but for nature and for conservation and the work of conservationists across the province and across the country. Like, it shows that people really care about this and are willing to put their weight behind it. And we couldn't be more thankful to the community for propping up this project. So you people must have been walking on air after. Yeah, it was. We had a party. There was a cake. Yeah, we had a great time.
So, what does this mean to our area? And I'm thinking about the animals, everything. Like, what does this mean to us? Because it is so unique. It's like, this is not anywhere else, is it? Like, this is our. What am I looking for? What's the words I'm looking for here? Ecologically, it's significant.
Yeah, extremely so. Our region is very, very ecologically important. It's sort of a highway for wildlife, essentially. Being able to move across the Thousand Islands archipelago, which is really, when you sort of zoom out on Google Maps, one of the only safe crossing points across the whole Great Lakes St. Lawrence system.
Oh. So it definitely is.
It's a big deal. The presence of the Thousand Islands lets animals on shorter time scales and plants even on long time scales hop and skip across the river, as opposed to having to make the whole swim across, which is kilometers wide St. Lawrence. But just as important as conserving the actual path that they take is making sure that it is not a bridge to nowhere, and that's where Red Horse Highlands comes in. The Charleston Lake area is sort of a second focal point of our conservation work. We have a lot of properties in that area, and it is sort of the first nexus of wilderness that animals and plants will hit after they have crossed the river into Ontario. So there's a couple corridors that go up sort of the Gananoque Lake area, and then up sort of Jones's Creek and Leaders Creek. And then once you sort of follow those corridors, you come into this big, again, Google Maps, big dark green area around Charleston Lake. And so conserving land there directly services the migration corridor that is, so important to the south, because it creates this further movement where the animals can continue to go up into sort of the great wilds of northern Ontario, and move through the sort of more populated area of southern Ontario, which is increasingly so, a hostile matrix for wildlife. And so having a property like this, especially one of this size, with this level of connectivity to other protected areas. I mentioned we have a 2-kilometer border with Charleston Lake Provincial Park. There's a lot of twilt property in that area as well. Well over, I wouldn't even take a guess. I'd say probably around 5,000 acres of conservation land, including the park itself. Maybe more, honestly. Has been protected, and to add such a big piece, 360 acres to that in one project is huge.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is. Thank you for sitting down with me and telling us about the Red Horse Highlands and how Twilt ended up getting it. I think it's
Doreen.
awesome.
It's always a pleasure, Doreen. Thank you.